Hey everybody, I want to talk about the 5 things that have surprised me the most since I've been in the Philippines. I hope you like this video and subscribe to my channel. One of the things that surprises me here, they'll put a help wanted notice on a pole in a window and it will say something like this: wanted, female, single preferred, 21 to 28, college degree. And these jobs will be entry-level jobs. Something any high school graduate can do in the States. But here they want you to have a college degree or some college to get these entry-level jobs. It really makes it hard for the older women who finished high school but didn't go to college, had a family, maybe the husband left them, they're on their own, to get a job in these companies, like the department store or the grocery store, or like any of the bigger companies. So the only job these older women can find are domestic type jobs, housekeepers, maids, cooks. But it really surprised me that they can be so specific on the age range, sex, and marital status of an employee they're looking for. In the States, you would never see that. So that really surprised me. Another thing that surprises me is rooster fighting. That's big business out here. I was surprised. I knew it was tolerated, but I didn't know to this extent. They have fighting pits everywhere. They have one in Dumaguete, they have one in Valencia, Bacon, in Darwin. And on a Sunday, you go near the one in Dumaguete, and it is packed with people. I mean, it is just packed. It's like a small college football game. And you can hear the roar of the crowd every time something happens. I'm sure it's something I really don't want to watch, but I'm so surprised at the amount of people and the interest in the rooster fighting. And it must be big business because a lot of people raise roosters here. The next thing that surprised me is the total power outages that they have, the total amount of brownouts and water supply being stopped and internet being down. I heard of brownouts before I came here. People would have a brownout, but I didn't know they would happen as often as they do here. I've had as many as 3 in one morning. There's been a few times already where I've woken up in the morning, go to take a shower, and there's no water. The water's turned off. I go down to the street and none of the meters are running and they turn the water off somewhere. And 3, 4, 5 hours later, it comes back on. No notice, no nothing. Same thing with the power outages. Sometimes you get a notice online that they're going to have a scheduled brownout, but a lot of times, boom, power's out. And you don't know how long it's going to be. It could be 15 minutes, it could be 5 hours, it could be a day. So those 2 things surprised me the most when it came to the power being out and the water. The internet interruptions are nowhere near as frequent, but when the power goes out, so does the Wi-Fi. Another thing surprised me. I was a little bit prepared for poverty, but not to the extent that I've seen it here. Poverty in the Philippines is a whole different level than the poverty we know in the United States. Here you see a lot of children hanging around downtown Dumaguete. They sleep downtown, they sleep on the cardboard. Their clothes are dirty, their sandals or flip-flops that they wear are totally worn. You can just look at them and you know they don't have anything. You'll see the people who, middle class and up, going into McDonald's, going to San Ravel, eating lunch, having dinner, driving cars, having nice motorbikes. The poor, you'll see them walking. They have to take the trike all the time. The gap here between the poor and the rich is very large. But they're still a happy people. And I know the government's working on the poverty problem, and I hope it's a problem that they can solve soon. It really tears at you to look at these children and know that they're just trying to get a cup of rice for the morning. They're downtown, you know, putting cardboard on motorcycles. They're doing whatever it takes, carrying somebody's bag, turning a peso or two, begging for money. it's just the only life they know, and I don't see how they're going to get out of it. It's just breaks your heart. The number one thing that surprised me, and surprised me the most, are the animals. There are so many animals here, so many chickens, so many roosters, so many dogs on the street, cows on the side of the road, goats. Here I'm going to show a few videos of just driving down the road today, a short distance to go do laundry, and this is what we saw. Even saw a turkey out there. The amount of animals loose on the road is just mind-boggling to me. The cows are on 10-foot pieces of rope, heavy rope, and they're tied to a pole, to a rock, to a bush, I don't know. They're tied and they stand there all day eating until the owner comes and moves them to another spot. Same thing with the goats. The goats, they're tied to a bush and they just start chowing down on the grass. And they move them constantly, but a lot of them are close to the road. There's good grass next to the the side of the road, and they're there. The chickens are everywhere. I wake up in the morning and I open my garage door and a half dozen chickens go running by. The roosters are everywhere, and all they do is try to outperform each other. So the roosters are very loud. The chickens are everywhere. The cows make me laugh. I hope you take a moment to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Leave a comment below. Let me know what you've seen that surprised you here in the Philippines. And if you live here, what surprises you the most? But it's the dogs. Everybody owns dogs. These people love their dogs here, but they don't neuter them or spay them. And the ones that don't have a home, a yard to be in, they're on the street. And the dogs, they're not wild, they're not aggressive, they're just there. They sit in the road, and as you come up to them on your motorbike, you beep your horn, they look at you, they might move, or you go around them. The people don't want to hit these dogs. Everybody slows down and goes around them. But on every barangay road, even the main highway out here, they're on the side of the road. They're just everywhere. When there's a little eating stand, they're there waiting to get little pieces of food thrown to them to eat. It's just, there's so many dogs. And when I lived in Bohol, they were all over the beach. You know, they'd be there in the morning, they'll dig a hole in the sand to sit down and be cool. And people feed them. They feed them the rice and the bones. They really don't throw their food scraps in the trash. You know, the vegetable stuff and that, I guess, are for goats and chickens, and the bones and the rice get thrown to the dogs. But the dogs are everywhere, and they're barking all the time. So if you don't like dogs barking, and you don't like roosters roosting, or crowing, or whatever they do, you're going to have to probably live in a condo, or live in a gated community. Because like where I live, they're everywhere. My neighbor raises chickens and turkeys, and there's chickens everywhere. We get used to the noise. It really doesn't bother me. But it does bother a lot of people. I see in all the comments I get, no roosters, no barking dogs. You know, go there at night to make sure, you know, there's no barking dogs. Go there in the morning, make sure there's no roosters. But they're everywhere. They're everywhere you look. There's no getting away from it. Thanks for watching. Until next time.